Hey there everyone, welcome back. It's been quite some time since our last foray into the Sword Coast, but here we are again, back with more Baldur's Gate. I'm going to go ahead and dive right back in, and actually let's take a moment to sort of remind ourselves of where we are and what we were doing. So looking at our global map here, I believe we were heading to the south to explore some of this last remaining uncharted wilderness. We've actually done quite a nice job of filling in the rest of the map before ultimately we plan to head back to the north and the eponymous city of Baldur's Gate, for which the game is named, and where likely the conclusion will take place and unfold around us. But for right now, I think we just want to finish exploring this last little remnant here, and we just finished dispatching a number of basilisks, so let's continue heading to the south and hope we don't run into any more, as I believe all of our protections from petrification have worn off. Also, Imoen, we're waiting for her to level up one last time, so that she will be a fully dual-classed mage thief, and she'll regain all of her thieving abilities that she abandoned on her journey to become a mage. We also have this ghoul following us around. I believe Korax was his name, yes. He helped us in the great battle against many basilisks, both lesser and greater. Unfortunately, we cannot take him on our journey with us, so he's going to have to hang out here in this craggly-looking area while we continue on to Gullikin.
Of course, yeah.
Rest well, Korax. Hope you find peace. As for where we are now, it looks like a small village of some kind. Let's see who's home. Did we just, yes, entered from the north. An empty house. And I shall explore myself.
Yeah.
Don't want to alert any of the dwellers within here, if there were any. Make them nervous that an armed band of adventurers comes tromping through their door.
Yeah.
But seems like the house was empty. Perhaps we'll find someone out and about the town proper. A couple of cows. Don't think they're in charge. Perhaps this woman here, a halfling. Interesting. I shall speak to her.
Know the happiness of a warm
She welcomes
heart
us. It's
and
good to meet
home.
us, finally. She's heard much ado about our visit to their little village. And why should there be such a ruckus? Are visitors so uncommon here? They get quite a bit of traffic as far as merchants and caravans go. It's just the wandering adventurer that raises the eyebrows. No doubt we feel like quite the spectacle during our stay, only because the small folk admire the spirit of little man that we possess. Their greatest wanderer in all of halfling history. Okay. It's quite an honor, really. This man here. Stuck a few kobolds before, and Firewine, they seem more organized. Interesting. I believe it was long ago in an inn at Baragost, I believe, where we were told of the mysterious Firewine ruins and the creatures that dwell within.
This group shows
So we're stuck here. They're
promise
blocking the road. We shall have to find another halfling man. Let's take a look inside here. See if there's anything of interest in this hovel. Once again, I shall explore myself. Who's this? Halfling man.
You're
Good to say.
rather outlandish folk to be
We are
wandering
welcome
round here.
for now. Well, you seem a bit hesitant. Why should you bear me any grudge? Nothing against us personally, just our professions. He's had kin lose their lives chasing some fool dream down a dungeon. It was someone like us that put them to it. Well, it's not all our fault, he says. He asks that we are kind enough to leave with the same number of people we arrived with. Fair enough. Our party is all here of their own volition, as far as I know. They're free to leave when they like. Not really, but, you know, it's nice to let them think so. But here we have Gullikin Village. Right here. Perhaps there's a mayor or someone with authority here in the town proper? Gandalar Luckyfoot. We shall have a word with him.
Of course, yeah.
Well met. Gandalar Luckyfoot at our disposal. To what does his little village owe the pleasure of our visit? He asks if we're off to Durlag's Tower, or perhaps on our way there we need to stop by and mend some breaks and bruises. Alright. Well, perhaps it would be best if I did see a healer. It has not been a gentle trip here. We do look a bit worse for wear. We'll find Alva Handar in the winery. A skilled cleric. Alright? Rates are reasonable. I'll continue talking to him, see if he has any things of interest. Pulls on our coattails a moment more. He has a proposition. It's usually nature quiet by the Firewine ruins, even with its violent bygone. So some have died, but do not sleep. Sounds like a ghost. Perhaps they could prevail upon us to rid them of this menace. Alright, oh, a band of kobolds also. That might be threatening as well. Okay. Well, I will gladly aid you small folk as best I can. Lead on. He can point the way, but he must warn us. There's many an odd thing that roam through there. He hears tell they be a touch more organized than your normal critters. Just go to the basement of the winery, and we'll find a secret door. Not so secret anymore, I suppose. But shall take his advice to heart and exercise caution in this dungeon. Suppose we can make our way to the winery, wherever it may be. This place looks somewhat atypical. Temple of Yondala and Alvenhendar's fine wines. That sounds like the place. Let's enter. I'll go first. Excuse me, Yeslik. Actually, maybe he should speak to the small folk. Alright. Some words of caution.
Who's this then?
Alvenhendar. Oh, Yeslik has gone down to the basement already, by accident. Looking around while we were talking to Alvenhendar. More intrepid fools on the road to a beating? Suppose we'll need some healing. Alright. Well, we'd like to see what you have to offer us. I can't actually see if Yeslik needed any healing. I think he's okay. We'll hope for now. But I will partake in his services of identification. So let's go ahead and see what all these treasures that we found in the basilisk crawling area. See if there's anything of interest to have identified. Looks like just what I was holding. Let's take a look. Not Yeslik. Alright, so we have a scroll. Let's read that first. Protection from magic scroll. Very powerful invisible globe of anti-magic in a 3-foot radius. No form of magic may pass into or out of it. Very interesting. But physical matter is not hindered. So, does not function. Magic does not function within the sphere, with the exception of magical weapons. That's relief. But it seems like you can't even cast spells. So I'm not going to be giving that to either of our mages. Since I'm not really planning to cast much myself, I'll go ahead and take it for now. And hopefully put it to good use. Seems like a very powerful effect, though. So we have a golden girdle of Ernst, created to protect a powerful wizard against malevolent warriors. Sounds very nice. And it awards you a +3 versus slashing weapons armor class bonus. Actually, I think I already have one of bluntness. +4 versus blunt. I'm going to give that to Minsk, I think. He's fairly likely to get slashed, so I'll go ahead and pass that off to him. And then lastly, these bracers of defense 7. Pass those off to one of our 2 mages, see who needs it more. So Dinah here already has bracers of AC 6, as well as a robe of the good Archmagi. So I don't think she'll be needing it. And if I didn't mention before, the way that these bracers work, because they're not exactly the most intuitive, is you have a base or default armor class of 10, and it goes down from that point based on the quality of armor that you wear as well as your dexterity. The more dexterous you are, the lower your armor class, which is the better. More unlikely you are to be hit. So this actually sets your armor class to 7, regardless of what it was before, assuming 10, and then it'll apply your armor and dexterity bonuses to that. So we want to give it to somebody that's not able to wear the heaviest armor, which is certainly one of the mages. So if I was to give this to Imwin, it would drop it to 2. From 10 to 7 is a difference of 3, of course, as Everick works out in his head over some time. So we have 2 and, oops, we have 6, excuse me, 5 for Dinah here. If I was to swap these around, hers would not change, but Imoen's would reduce even further to 1, so that actually seems perfect. I guess, okay, since Dinah here has the robe of the good Archmagi, these bracers don't actually do anything except weigh her down a little bit and look a little stylish, so I'll go ahead and let her hang on to them in case we have a need for them later.
Yes.
But besides that,
Of
just
course.
take one last glance
Yeah.
over what he's got to offer, and we'll maybe make a donation another time. Go ahead and take some potions of healing. Can never have too many of these, I feel. So I'll go ahead and buy out his stock, and looking over these others, a stone to flesh scroll might actually be very useful if we ever intend to head back towards the way that we came through Basilisk territory. I believe we're actually fully depleted of our supply of protection potions from their gaze attacks. Let's go ahead and give these to Dinah here and stock her up, as well as Imoen. I think they were the only ones that needed any refills here. So I'll just go ahead and hold on to the rest for now. Alright. So let's all join Yeslik down there in the basement. I don't think these halflings will have much else to say. So we're looking for a secret entrance to the Firewine ruins. Somewhere here. Let's have a look around.
Simple task.
I don't think I heard it actually. Ooh, okay. So I'm not sure who it was. Perhaps it was over here. He takes a look at this door, or this wall here, and seems something's amiss here. I'll go ahead and reveal a secret passageway. Who knew it could be there? Alright, so that was fairly straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and assume this is the way down to the Firewine ruins. I'm going to take a quick break here in the video, and we shall be back in just a moment with some dungeon exploring action. Stay tuned, everyone.